Hi guys, Ian here, and this is the ROSESELSA Photon Pro. It is a single dynamic driver IEM, and the retail price for this is 17 US dollars. It's available on ROSESELSA's website, so if you want to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link down in the description below. So I've been testing these for about 3 weeks now, and I'm here to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions about these Photon Pros. So let's first begin with the accessories and specifications. So this is the retail box that it comes in. There's no specifications on the box, so I'm just gonna read it out to you. Inside here, there's a 8mm dynamic driver on each side. Sensitivity is 100 dB. Impedance is 32 ohms, and the frequency range is 20 to 20,000 hertz. Now, inside this retail box, you'll get a user guide, a Velcro strap, this cable clip, and some ear tips, 5 different sets of ear tips. And it is a white bore ear tip. So if you like transparent, more brighter sound, these ear tips are really good. It's just that they're a little bit on the softer side. The flange is a little bit soft and a little bit, I would say, flimsy. Yeah. So if you have third-party ear tips, I would suggest to tip roll if you can. And it comes with this cable. Now this is a single core fabric cable, and it terminates with a 3.5 headphone jack, angled, and it's got the chin slider over here. Okay, and on one side you do get an inline microphone, a volume rocker, and play and pause button. So very useful if you use it for phone calls, playing games, and listening to music. And the ear hooks. Ear hooks are a little bit on the stiffer side. I'm not a big fan of this ear hooks. In fact, I've been trying other cables and they work well with these IEMs. Alright, so now let's talk about the design and build quality. These bullet style IEMs, the build quality is actually pretty good. For $17, they are made of metal, and the nozzle is part of the inner shell itself. So overall, small form factor, very well built, pretty reasonable design. I would hope that the edges on the outside would be rounded so it doesn't press against my inner ear. But other than that, it's just fine. Okay, now let's talk about the fit and comfort. As I mentioned, with the stock ear hooks, it didn't really fit my ear. The overall ear tips didn't really fit my ear, so I used it with third-party cables and ear tips. They work well. So with those, that gave me a pretty good seal. But with these stock cable and ear tips, I didn't really get a good seal from it. Now let's talk about the sound performance of these. First, let's talk about the drivability, and these are okay to drive. You might need to bump up the volume or increase the gain on your player if you do have a player, because not really easy to increase the volume. But for those of you who listen to high volume, I do suggest to save your ears' health and not to listen to your music too loud. But if you're listening to this at a softer volume, this is pretty alright. And these will pair well with warm sounding balance players. Okay, now let's talk about the technical performance of these earphones. For the price, I mean $17, the price to performance ratio is pretty alright. I would say it's average. The sound stage is pretty wide on the side, but it's not a very big sound stage, so pretty average size sound stage. The sound separation is also pretty alright. It's not really clear compared to my other IEMs, and the layers are pretty alright as well. I don't get much separation from the vocals and percussions and overall instruments on the sides. So sound separation is alright, and layers are alright as well. It's not fantastic. The details retrieved on this, because this is a V-shaped tuned IEM, so details are not really fantastic as well. So I would say overall, I would say it's decent. Nuances can be picked up sometimes, but not all the time. Alright, so resolution wise, I would say they are pretty good. Pretty resolute, clear as well. So for the price, $17 is pretty decent. Now let's talk about the tone and timbre, and this, because it's a V-shaped tune IEM, so It's pretty warm sounding. The note weight is not the heaviest as well, but overall it's warm, and it's not really fun, but I would say casual type of tone and timbre. Right, so let's take a look at the sound signature of this IM. I'll post my graph somewhere up here. So as you can see, the overall tuning of this IM is pretty V-shaped, and overall is pretty casual sounding IM. Let's start with the sub bass, and for the Photon Pro, it's got this gentle roll off in the sub bass, meaning you're not going to get that deep cinematic rumble, and the bass drops and notes may sound a little bit lean. All right, so if you're a bass head and you listen to genres like EDM or those movies, these might leave you wanting more, a little bit more weight for the sub bass. Now, in terms of the mid bass, it's a little bit more elevated as compared to the Harman curve. As you can see, this delivers a pretty solid punch, and the warmth of it is pretty good, and it's giving kick drums a pretty satisfying thump, and the bass line a bit more meat, all right, a bit more body, and it's a bit more engaging as well. But these, in terms of the mid bass, it creeps a little bit into the mids, and so if you are sensitive to a congested mids, this might affect it. Now in the lower mids, you can see that that's a noticeable dip, creating a space and preventing muddiness, which is good. And instruments like electric guitars and male vocals, they sound really clean on this. But they do sound a little bit thinner than natural, especially if you are used to a fuller and warmer sounding IEM. As for the mid-range, this is where the Photon Pro aligns closely with the average, all right? And we see a pretty controlled and steady rise, peaking at around 2.5 to 3K, and this will give excellent vocal clarity and of course the presence as well. And female vocals and male vocals, they sound pretty good and energetic here on this Photon Pro, and in my opinion, this is where the Photon Pro is tuned the best. Alright, so let's move on to the upper frequencies of the Photon Pro. And as for the presence region, this is where things get a bit spicy. There is a strong peak between the 5K and 6K hertz, noticeably higher than Harman curve. And this can make the sound feel more detailed, but it also introduces sharpness and glare, especially on vocals and crash cymbals. So if you are sensitive to treble, this area might give you some fatigue after long listening sessions. As for the treble and brilliance, which is above 7K, the Photon Pro shows a pretty uneven peak and dips, and this will affect the overall treble smoothness. And there's also a spike around 9.5K, and over here you get some kind of maybe sparkle, a little bit of air, but it will sound a little bit unnatural and peaky at times, and depending on the recording. Right, so that's the overall sound signature of the Photon Pro, and let's conclude. Overall, this delivers a pretty mild V-shaped tuning, and you get a elevated mid bass, pretty energetic mids, and some sharpness in the upper treble, and it's tuned more for the casual and a little bit more excitement than these studio neutral tuning. So if you're a critical listener, this might not be suitable for you, and this is tuned well for modern pop songs, rock and electronic genre music. So it's a little bit I would say energetic, yeah. So this is pretty good for casual listeners. And do I recommend it? I would say $17 is pretty reasonable for this price. I mean, it's not going to cost you an arm and leg. I would get this just as a spare IEM and just throw it in my bag so that I have something in my bag if I so forget my main IEM. Alright, so that's my overall thoughts and opinions about these ROSESELSA Photon Pro. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.